Well, in that same interview this morning on GH Today with Sewamia Esquire, he expressed strong confidence that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia remains the best candidate among all MPP contenders, predicting an emphatic victory in the party's upcoming flag bearer contest. According to the party stalwart, Dr. Bawumia's track record in government, policy experience, and national appeal places him well ahead of his competitors. He is confident by 7 p.m. on January 31, 2026, Dr. Bawumia will be declared the MPP flag bearer once again with an overwhelming majority.
The best candidate of all the MPP candidates. 31st January 2026, by 7 p.m., Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia would have been reselected with an overwhelming majority. Where I am, how much I've served this party, from student leadership all the way to director of elections, all the way to member of parliament, to a minister. At that point, if I cannot boldly tell people who admire me that of the people, 5 people standing, the one who stands tallest among them, the best prepared, the most capable, the most winnable candidate among all the lot is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, then there's a problem with me.
Away from that, the Ghana National Fire Service is launching a nationwide exercise today to ensure all vehicles on the road carry functional, certified fire extinguishers, according to a statement from the GNFS. The Fire Safety Compliance Task Force, working with the National Road Safety Authority and Police MTTD, will conduct spot checks, issue certification tags, and provide guidance. Drivers are reminded to carry at least one certified extinguisher, keep it serviceable, and mount it in an accessible spot. They are also encouraged to learn how to use extinguishers and keep safety items like warning triangles and first aid kits on board. The Ghana National Fire Service warns that in a fire emergency, every second counts, and a working extinguisher can prevent tragedy. Let's talk about the lithium agreement that has brought so much controversy in Ghana's parliament and in many conversations. And here, Media Relations Officer for the Ministry of Lands and Natural Resources, Parkwesi Shandov, has dismissed the minority's call for the resignation of the Lands Minister, describing it as baseless and without merit. According to him, the ministry is currently deepening stakeholder consultations on the controversial Barari-DV lithium agreement, contrary to claims of inadequate engagement. He added that the ongoing review seeks to guarantee that local communities are not sidelined and that Ghana derives maximum benefit from its mineral resources. Mr. Shandov maintained that calls for the minister's resignation are unjustified and should be disregarded.
The call by the minority is one that I am compelled to describe as baseless and devoid of substance. The reason for that description is anchored on the fact that as we speak momentarily, at the point of having this conversation with you, stakeholder consultations are being deepened and they are actively ongoing. Indeed, on Monday, for example, the sector minister had cause to engage all civil society organizations on the subject matter. Yesterday, around this time, myself, together with other colleagues, were in Ewoya to engage the chiefs and people of that area and other adjoining communities. So for the fact that we are seeking to, as it were, make the agreements better, I do not see the reason anybody should call for the resignation of the sector minister. Now, what the minister and the entirety of the ministry is arguing, the position of the ministry is that we want to reform the laws that regulate royalties and, yes, mineral exploration at large, so that it would affect not only the lithium agreement, but all other mineralized agreements across the length and breadth of the. We are now fine-tuning the deal to ensure that at the very least, the locals would not be sidelined in any way whatsoever. If all of these conversations are ongoing, what becomes the basis for anybody at all who has the interest of the country at heart to say that the man who is the captain and is spearheading such innovation should be given a backseat? It honestly does not appeal to logic, and so we are saying that it's a call from the minority that should be outrightly dismissed and totally ignored.
It's time for us to bring you the latest in our world of business.
The Business Brief is brought to you by GHOne, passion for technology.
Now, the Executive Board of the International Monetary Fund, the IMF, has approved the fifth review of Ghana's extended credit facility with the fund, bringing a total of some $2.8 billion US dollars in receivables so far since May 29, 2023, when Ghana entered the fund-approved program. And at this particular approval, Ghana is to receive some $385 million US dollars, and it's an immediate disbursement that is going to be done by the IMF. It lauds Ghana's macroeconomic achievements so far, but signals that although the 2026 budget is one that is hinging largely on fiscal reforms and is within the framework of fiscal discipline, is calling for government to do more to ensure that our macroeconomic stability is assured and maintained for the foreseeable years. Away from that, the Ghana Revenue Authority, GHOne, has seized large quantities of products from retail and wholesale shops found without approved tax stamps. The products, running into thousands of Ghana cedis, were confiscated during compliance exercises within the Central Business District of Accra and Tema. Vowing to sustain the exercise, the GRA described as alarming the level of non-compliance resulting in substantial revenue losses for national development. Abdul Hanan Adam has more.
Despite a series of engagements with the trading community and sensitization campaigns over the years, some businesses continue to flout the excise tax stamp compliance. During the compliance operations led by the excise unit of the Ghana Revenue Authority at Makola and other shops within the Central Business District of Accra exposed some businesses selling products without the tax stamp embossed and others with fake excise tax stamps. At Tina Priority, a retail and wholesale supermarket in Tema had large volumes of assorted and alcoholic beverages seized for non-compliance. Addressing journalists after the exercise, head of excise at the Ghana Revenue Authority, Kwabna Apau Anto, urged businesses to demand from manufacturers and suppliers goods affixed with the required tax stamps to curb tax evasion and protect state revenue.
Is to make sure that before they pick the product, either the product is locally manufactured or imported, the stamps are on them before they pick the products. It's very alarming. We continue to educate, and you have followed us on several occasions, to the market, and we will continue to tell them what they should do. Yet we come out and we still have these kind of challenges. So it's something alarming, and that is why we have to up our compliance activities. I think maybe education alone is not sufficient. We need to enforce the law and impose the penalties to serve as a deterrent.
However, all affected businesses were served with a seizure notice and a 1-month ultimatum to retrieve their wares or risk losing them completely.
Now we have picked them, we have seized them. What it means is that seizure notices will be issued, and we will give them 1-month notice. If they have any good reason why these products should not be confiscated to the state, they should write to the Commissioner General. If Commissioner General so see it fit, after the application has been made, that we could restore these goods to them, they pay the necessary fines and penalties, and then we give them back the goods, and then we put stamps on them. So it is in the interest of anybody dealing in all of these products that I have earlier mentioned, that they have the stamps affixed to them.
While the authority vows to sustain the compliance and education campaign, it is urging consumers to demand only goods affixed with the required tax stamps to curb tax evasion and protect state revenue. Reporting for GHOne News, Delhanan Adam, Tema.
Let's now bring you the latest in our world of sports.
The Business Brief was brought to you by GHOne, passion for technology.
Many thanks for joining me here on Sports Brief. I am Monica Bukari. Comoros are the latest to arrive in Morocco for the African Cup of Nations. A big test awaits in their opening fixture as they face the host nation Morocco on December 21, kicking off the AFCON campaign. Zimbabwe, however, also touched down in Morocco ahead of the tournament. The Warriors are set for their opening group game against Egypt on December 22nd as the AFCON tournament begins. The confidence is high as Mali has also touched down in high spirits as the Eagles settles in carrying belief, talent and momentum into this particular tournament. Meanwhile, the seven-time African champions Egypt intensify preparations in Morocco with eyes firmly set on whipping in another AFCON title on the Moroccan soil. The Total Energies African Cup of Nations AFCON 2025 will take place from December 21, 2025 to 18th January 2020, hosting the continent's premier football tournament for the second time in its history. For sports and recreation, Kofi Idi Adams has withdrawn the Sports Development Fund bill laid before Parliament on 11th of December after the Parliament Select Committee formally carefully scrutinized it and asked that he factored in the amendments made. On Thursday evening, however, the 18th of December, the Sports Minister, Kofi Adams, relayed a new which factors the committee's amendments and finance.
Speaker, I rise to withdraw the bill so late in the House, 11th of December from the House. Mr. Speaker, in doing so, I want to give indication that, well, Mr. Speaker, just to withdraw the bill. When I relay, I'll do the other.
Honourable Member, the Minister on the stated date came to present a bill to the House. He wants to have that particular bill withdrawn by the leave of the House.
An act to establish the Ghana Sports Fund to provide sustainable funding for sports development in the country and sports for development to provide for the management of the fund and for related matters.
Honourable members, the bill is duly presented and read.
Now, away from that, World Football Governing Body FIFA has unveiled a new cut price ticket category after a backlash by fans over pricing for the 2026 tournament in the United States, Canada and Mexico. FIFA said in a statement it had created limited number of supporter entry tier fixed at $60 for all 101 4 matches, including the final. It said the plans was designed to further support traveling fans following their national teams across the tournament. Meanwhile, FIFA stressed that the $60, which is 51 euros tickets, would be reserved for fans of qualified teams only and would make up for 10% of each national federation's allotments. The cheaper tickets will make up 10% of participating member associations' allocations. However, fans who apply through participating member association ticketing programs and whose teams fail to progress to the knockout stage will have their administrative fees waived for refund requests. Now, this announcement comes amid growing scrutiny of ticket pricing ahead of the 2026 tournament set for June 11 to July 19th across Canada, Mexico, and USA. And that's all for sports, but do join us at 1 p.m. on The Game. My name is Monica Bukhari. Back to you, Emmanuel Agyabeng.
Well, as you do know, it is time for the international brief. On here, Nigeria's Foreign Minister Yusuf Tugas formally apologized to Burkina Faso for the unauthorized entry of a Nigerian military jet into Burkina base airspace, an incident that led to the detention of 11 Nigerian servicemen. Tugas spokesperson told news team that the detained personnel had been released and were due to return to Nigeria without saying when. The plane was flying to Portugal when it developed a technical problem and had to land in Burkina. Alliance of Sahel states made up of Burkina Faso and its neighbors, Mali and Niger. That'll be all for this afternoon's broadcast. We are grateful that you could join us. Stay with us on starfm.com.gh for more news updates. My name is Emmanuel Agyabeng. Until another time, have a good afternoon and enjoy the rest of your day.